Hello everyone, my name is Ember and I just got back from the Shirobako movie premiere and I'm just gonna go completely off the cuff with a review. Right now I'm gonna be mostly spoiler free just in case you didn't get a chance to see it. It only had one premiere in the US I believe, and then I believe Canada has some premieres next week. So let's just jump into it. I didn't get a chance to rewatch all of Shirobako before watching this. I got way too busy with some other projects. Only managed to just rewatch the last episode of the TV series before jumping in, just to refresh myself on all everything. But you definitely don't need to rewatch the series to see this one. I would definitely, if you haven't seen it at all, I would definitely recommend seeing it just so you're a little bit more familiar with the characters and their backstories. But it's not, I wouldn't even say it's entirely necessary to see the TV series to get a solid experience out of this. But I would still recommend it, obviously. But anyway, I'm going to be honest, this movie fucking blew me away. This was probably the best anime that I've seen so far this year, like hands down. It's just so utterly perfect in almost everything that it sets out to do. Where the fuck do I even start with this? So the general synopsis, again, without getting super spoilery, is that we pick up about 4 years after the end of the TV series. In that time period, Musani, the animation studio in the series, has had some hits, and also some blunders, and eventually they had a project that just like completely broke down. I'm not gonna say why, but it basically broke the studio apart, and like barely anyone's working there anymore. So this is sort of like a comeback story for Musani, the animation studio. And the project that they get for this movie is a movie deal. And basically they're given a very short time frame to put this movie together from scratch. Mostly from scratch. Again, spoilers, but yeah, this was just a fucking phenomenal movie. It's super quick paced. Like, it never feels like it's grinding to a halt at all. And that's one of the things I love about Tsutomu Mizushima as a director. He's never slow with his works. Even like his slower moments don't feel like they're dragging. This is a director that I'm really fascinated with, and I want to do a deeper dive into later. And I definitely want to do a deeper dive with this movie later because there's just so much to talk about. But yes, it's just incredibly fast paced, but I wouldn't say it feels short either. This is a beefy movie. It's like a little over 2 hours long. So there is a lot of content in this movie. So I wouldn't say you feel those 2 hours like in a bad sense, but you feel like you've definitely consumed a lot of content at the end of it, which is something that I really like from the anime that I consume. And just in general, there's this undercurrent of just the artistic vision and passion and the drive to create art. I'm going to be honest, the first third, maybe, of this movie, maybe first quarter, somewhere around there, I was basically crying in the movie theater because, just a little context, I recently finished a new video project that I didn't, mostly my fault. I didn't give myself enough time to work on it, so the past 3 to 4 days has been just an absolute nightmare of trying to put this video together on time and just cramming everything in on the weekend. I edited a whole 14.5-minute video just on Sunday, video editing. If you're a video editor, you understand that's fucking insane. But Uh, so I was very I literally just finished a project that I had just been pouring my all into, and then to go and see something like this, it really connected with me on the level of a creator, and I just got very emotional during it. This is something that creators are very much going to understand, because it really touches on everything. Like like all the parts of the creative process, and the passion you feel for the work, the despair and kind of depression that you feel when stuff doesn't go your way, or you just get stuck in a rut, or stuck in like a monotonous loop of just barely being okay. And it's just the just the way that it approaches the creative process is absolutely brilliant, both in how blunt it is and in how abstract it can be. It like really toes both lines of that. Like, it's got just the very blunt, like, this is how it is, deal with it, and then also just the more abstract symbolic ideas of it that really lay into it. And there's just so many creative ideas in this. There's a fucking musical number smack dab in like the middle of the right at the end of the first act, or right at the start of the second act. Or I don't know if this really follows the three act structure per se, but like around that point in the movie, there's a full on like 4-ish minute musical number. Again, Tsutomu Mizushima, you're a madman. I love you. And technically, there's 2 musical numbers in this, but the second one's only like a minute long, so it's not quite as extensive. But it's like full on like musical quality, like music number, and it just gets so insane. And the song is great, and it gets you jazzed to like really dive into like the actual creation part of the plot, where they actually start making the show. Like, it starts right before that, and it just gets you pumped for this deluge of just anime industry creation process stuff that Shirobako is known for. If I had to, it's not even a fault per se, because I just enjoyed all of it, but there is a very long stretch of just going into the details of the creation of this anime. So, and again, it didn't really drag, but it was just a lot of information at once. So again, just a very minor nitpick, but that was that and a couple animation issues, just a couple. Well, were the only, and one other issue I had, just I might as well just get all the issues out before I go back to gushing about how great this movie is. Both with this and with the main TV series, when they actually show the final product, it much more so in the TV series than this movie, it just feels like generic anime product that was made for the purpose of this show, and it felt like the generic idea of an anime. This one, when they finally show the product, it's definitely the best one that Shirobako has done so far, but it still has a couple hints of that here and there. But again, it is also a notable improvement over the TV series. Although, again, the last time I saw the TV series was after it ended in like 2015. So, God, 6 years ago. Man. But, yeah. So, those were all my very minor complaints about this movie. Back to all the cool stuff. It also really drives a stake into like a big issue that people have with the anime industry as it is right now. Like, it goes hard on sticking it to the production committees and like the bigwig producers of it. Like, there's a character in this who is basically just bad guy executive and just kind of treats everyone like shit. And he's basically just the bad guy, not redeemable in any way, but he feels very realistic in terms of how the anime industry has evolved in the past couple years. Well, more like the past 5 years or so. Probably even longer than that. Especially since we are hot off the news that Kadokawa is basically owning more and more of the anime industry and streamlining and just collecting different parts of the anime industry, and B, Sony finalizing their deal with Crunchyroll to have a monopoly on anime streaming. It's a good time to write bad guy executive characters, because we are definitely in the mood for it. It is definitely a hot button issue in the anime community right now. So really like that aspect. And the resolution to that, again, without spoiling it, they basically take the same route that they did with this resolution to the second core of the TV series, where the director is going to meet with the mangaka who he hasn't been able to get in contact with. It feels extremely similar to that, but also just pulling out all the stops to make an amazing action scene near the end. And just the animation in general, I guess I could talk about, is just phenomenal. This is probably one of the best looking PA Works projects I've ever seen. I would definitely put it up there with stuff like Nagi no Asukara, and actually I haven't seen a lot of PA Works shows lately. I guess Angel Beats, but I haven't watched Angel Beats in like 8 years. So can't say exactly whether it holds up or not. But yeah, there's just the ambition behind all these different cuts in the series, and the different framing, and the shot layout, and the storyboarding, and just the general animation quality as well. Like, there were really only a few moments where I was like, that could have looked a little better. But just, there's so much quality animation and quality animation direction, and just general direction in general with this film. Like, again, the final fight at the end is just balls out amazing. Really trying not to spoil it, but it has a little bit of Kill Bill Volume 1 vibes to it, if that makes any sense. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But, oh man, and again, also on the technical end of things, the soundtrack just goes all out. I wish I had looked up who the composer was for this, but it really digs its heels in. Like, this is not a subtle soundtrack in any way, which again is very much Mizushima's style. Mizushima is not a subtle director. He likes being loud and boisterous and over the top, which is what I love about him. And the soundtrack really complements that. It's very much on the orchestral side of things, and just those swelling string lines right at the most important moments just really lay into the emotion of the scenes. And yeah, just technically it was an amazing production. I'm blown away. Are there any other things that I want to talk about that aren't spoilery? Yeah, just the general vibe of these are all creators, and they're all very individual creators. No character feels repetitive in this film. There's not, I can't say like, yeah, we could have done without this character. Like, each one brings a different part of the creative process to the table, and just general creative mindset that I've either experienced myself or I've seen in other people. And it's just so fleshed out and so complex with how they're able to fit so many different voices into the creative process of this film, both the film inside the anime and the film at large. And it's just so fun and great and immensely relatable if you are a creator yourself. And it also has a lot of, like, if you have seen the TV series, it has a lot of, like, comedic fan service moments, like moments that call back to stuff from the TV series that fans would be very comfortable with, and you're like, I remember that. That was fucking funny. And yeah, just a generally pretty funny movie overall too. Again, it's got that great Mizushima edge that I love to it. I keep going on about Mizushima. If you don't know what he's done so much shit. He's done Shirobako. He did Gorozoon Panzer. He did Magnificent Kotobuki, Joshiraku, I believe Squid Girl as well. And in terms of, like, he's even done some horror anime, like Another and Mayoiga. Both of which I like a lot more than other people. Just the dude is so experienced with this tight comedic writing that's also very thrilling. And, like, again, with the anime that they produce in this movie is like a sci-fi space kind of action series, which allows Mizushima to do what he does best with aircraft flying. Like, if you go back and watch the first episode of Magnificent Kotobuki, like that POV shot of the plane, like there's some cool shots like that in there. This is very much a Mizushima movie, and I love it. And I think that's all I have to say without getting into spoilers. Just a phenomenal movie that perfectly reflects the experience that I'm having right now. Very much worth the 6 years of waiting. Thank you, 11 Arts and High Dive, for bringing this movie over. I am just blown away. This is hands down the best anime that I've seen so far this year. Gonna give it a solid to strong 9. Like, if I watched this again and did like a full dive analysis into it, this is very close to a 10. Like, just those very minor problems that I had with it are really the only things keeping it from being a 10. There is just, this anime is packed to the brim with ideas that are executed to their fullest potential. It's so good. Obviously, it's a little late now for you to go out and see it unless you live in Canada, but check it out when it comes up on when it comes out on Blu-ray, or if it goes to video on demand at some point. I don't know if that's going to be happening or not. I hope it is, so other people can see it, or if other means of watching this anime come up. Just watch this movie, especially if you saw the TV series and really like the TV series. This is a direct continuation of that and expounds upon the ideas that were talked about in that. It's phenomenal. Go see it. And I think that's about it for today. Sorry if you were expecting a One Piece vlog today. That this is the reason that the volume I was reading today is going to get pushed till tomorrow. Just did not have time to read that and review it between getting off of work and going to see this movie. But it was definitely worth it. I'm feeling very many emotions right now, and it's just all coming back to me. So that's it for today. Let me know what you thought of this movie if you managed to go out and see it. And if you like this video and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my videos. If you're just tuning in for this video, I'm currently in the middle of going through One Piece. So, if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to stick around for more. My name is Ember, and I'll see you next time.